DK Metcalf mixing it up with someone in the stands.
Oh my gosh.
And that not going to have great consequences for the Steelers and Metcalf.
Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver DK Metcalf being suspended without pay after getting into an altercation with a Lions fan over the weekend. Now Metcalf reportedly has a history with the fan he threw a punch at and even reported him to security last year when he was playing with the Seahawks. He's now claiming that the fan was making racist and derogatory comments.
Joining us this morning to break it all down, our chief legal analyst and NFL expert, Khalif Rhodes, is here this morning. All right, Khalif, we see it. It's hard to not put yourself in someone's shoes and go, what would I have done in that situation when you're all jazzed up? And NFL says this conduct, quote, is detrimental to the league. How do they define that? Where's the line that says this is detrimental? What do you think about it?
The goal is always to protect the shield. Let's be clear. The NFL is a brand, and you want players, I should say fans, to recognize when they come into the stadiums that they will be protected, that they will be safe, that no other fan will hit them, and ultimately no player will hit them in any type of manner. And so that's clearly spelled out that players recognize that, but the fans will recognize that as well, that no player should go or walk into the stands and cause any additional injury, unforeseen or unreasonable injury to a fan. That's on top of that detrimental to the league. And so those are the types of things that players are clearly aware of. And this scenario reminds me of nowhere near as large or as big as Deron Artest, Malice in the Palace. I lived there in Auburn Hills. I went to the Palace, Auburn Hills, when I was in Detroit for maybe 7 years. I went there maybe 2 or 3 times a week whenever I could catch a game. And so I remember that happening, and I can tell you that he got 80 games for that, 70-plus games in the regular season, 13 in the playoffs, cost him $5 million. But look at how the raises in salaries have jumped over the last couple of years, because DK Metcalf for 2 games is going to lose $500,000, but potentially lose $45 million in future incentives that were already guaranteed based on contract structures. And so, yes, that swing, that push, that whatever we're calling it, may have cost him more than just a couple games.
Now, Khalif, it's interesting. The fan may still be banned from a stadium because of whatever conduct that they had, but is there anything else that DK could face in terms of maybe a civil lawsuit? How would you improve that? And then also, what protections do players have?
And I think that's what I would argue. I think that someone around his team reminded him to say, if this is the individual that was harassing you, then he may have some potential claim around the NFL. That, listen, if I've made you aware that this is a potential threat, this person is making some potential comments to me, and you've done nothing to protect me, it would be like any other workplace. If you come to your job on Monday and someone's standing outside and they're making threats to you, and Tuesday something happens and your job didn't put any parameters around that to protect you, then you would have a claim against your employer for failing to do something where they knew that there was a potential threat. That's DK Metcalf's only claim, is that, hey, I put you guys on notice that this was happening. We've traveled here 2022, 2023, 2024 when he was with the Seahawks. And so now you're saying, you guys did nothing. This fan can still approach me. He can still do anything to me. But I'd like to know what those comments were. And regardless of what the comments were, our Constitution does not allow for fighting words, right? People say, oh, they're fighting words. Well, that only fighting words limits your ability for your First Amendment protections, but it doesn't allow you to lead to violence. And that's something I'll always teach my students when I taught. If the First Amendment protections that are there and fighting words that are not protected will not open the door for someone to then fight you and then say they were protected because you use fighting words.
Khalif, quickly, 30 seconds. As a defense attorney, what kind of proof would you ask for to try to defend Metcalf? I mean, would you ask for cell phone video? I want to hear word for word what came out of this fan's mouth. Maybe someone caught it on camera. Like, what would you need?
Well, no, what I would want is for me to be able to fight you, for me to be able to put physical harm towards you, I have to be in imminent fear of bodily harm. Okay. So what I would want is, I could care less about the comments, the derogatory ones, even though I think they're offensive. What I would want them to say is, I'm about to knock you out, or I'm going to hit you, or I'm going to kill you. Something of that nature. Then, hey, when they got close and he went to sign the jersey, if there was something picked up there in that little moment, that would be the best piece of evidence, because in that moment, that's imminent fear of bodily harm, and then I can react. Now that's just not words, it's conduct. You're not just saying something to me, you're threatening me. Now I can protect myself. But if he's just making derogatory statements towards you, our laws do not allow you to assault someone. The courts are clear on that words are protected. Violence that lead, or words that lead to violence, are not protected, but they don't allow you to then go create violence to someone else.
Yeah, regardless on how you feel about it, no such thing as fighting words. Khalif, thank you.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.